Welcome to Bridging the Gap, the show where dialogue meets reality. I am Kasitoni and I'll be taking you through this wonderful segment. You know what the show is all about. And there's a video that's been circulating online. I don't know if you've seen it, but in case you haven't seen it, that's why I'm here at your service to serve you better. You know this video that has been circulating online, women dumping their babies in different locations. Why? You know you're not ready to be a mother. You're not ready to mother a child. Why get pregnant? And at the end of the day, you go through that monthly symptoms, that hormones, that body change, you give birth, and then you dump the baby. For what reason? Some say, oh, because of lack of support, because of hunger, because of abandonment. And then you dump your baby, your 9 months baby, a baby you carry in your womb for 9 months. And sometimes I wonder if those women actually go through the pains of labor, because if you actually go through labor pain, you will not do all of that. Talking about dumping babies, in Rivers State in 2022, that was May to be precise, a woman abandoned her baby boy, by the roadside. And what was her reason? She said because of hunger and lack of support. And then in Nasarawa State, that was December 2019 to be precise, a woman abandoned her baby girl by the waterside, and the baby eventually died due to exposure to cold. And we'll come back to Anambra State in June 2024. Another woman also abandoned her baby at a refuge dump. Then in June 2025, a woman abandoned her child in the middle of the road. How can women be so callous and heartless? How can you be so I don't even know, like you've sown your conscience to the devil that you have to do all of this thing without even having to look back, without even looking at these infants, taking pity on these babies, the pains that you went through giving birth to them. And then you abandon them rather than taking them to the roadside, and why not leave them in the hospital and go instead of exposing them to danger. And then in Benin, that was in 2015, June to be precise, a 3-month-old baby was left at a neighbor's compound. If I was in that compound, I would take the baby. And then recently, just a few days ago, a woman abandoned her son, 1-day-old son, a day old, a baby that is not even up to 2 months, just a day old, at a roadside in Agege in Lagos State. Why will women do this? Why do you go through labor pains? You give birth and you abandon your baby. Meanwhile, there are different places where you can take those children to if you don't want them. And why even get pregnant if you know you're not financially stable, you're not buoyant, you're not ready to have a child? Why get pregnant? Why go through that pains of giving birth? Why go through that pains of going to the labor room? Because it's not easy to go to a labor room. Is it that you're giving birth through CS or you're giving birth through the normal procedure, which none is even easy. At every interval, you go through pains. So why subject yourself into all of these pains and then you abandon those children in the name of there's no help, there's no support? Meanwhile, government has provided revenues, places where you can actually take these babies to. I'm not just here alone in the studio to talk about this, because I am already pain in my heart, because these are innocent children. There are people who are looking for children. There are couples who've been married for years. They are looking for children, and yet you choose, God bless you, and you choose to be callous. You choose to be heartless. You choose to abandon them, to take them to the road, dumping them at different intervals. It's not nice. I have in the studio to talk about this with me, King Ojalo. Welcome to the show, Ojalo.
Cassie, it's my pleasure being here. Most especially this subject matter is what I'm so excited to discuss on.
All right, so in Lagos at Agege, a woman abandoned her 1-month-old baby by the roadside, and a good Samaritan picked the baby up, a baby boy for that matter. Why would women be doing this?
You know, when you were narrating earlier on, Cassie, you made mention of that some of them stated the reasons why they dumped their baby, like that
hunger, abandonment, lack of support.
Lack of support and thereabout. Let me tell you the truth. Those are not vibrant excuses.
Exactly. That's just
And
flimsy excuses.
The reason why I see most women take such dirty art is ignorance. Let's be honest, and I'll specify. There was a news I watched I think last 2 years. Yes, I was in Lagos when it popped up on my phone. You know, a woman who killed two of her children, two twins in Ebonyi State, and she was, you know, it came out on the video really went viral, and she was asked why did she do that act. She said it's because her husband refused to give her money. Now, this woman, for sure, she was apprehended and arrested.
So these children she killed, was it for money ritual or she just killed them?
No, she killed them she was angry.
And you killed your own children?
Yeah, she killed them. She had beheaded them. I think she squandered their neck.
Sometimes I wonder if
now
this women
that is why I really want to bring up your mind on those excuses most women who abandon their children give. And you also talk about government providing orphanage home. Initially, orphanage home is not meant for you to give birth and you dump a child. It's meant for children who lost their parents.
But in this scenario,
that is the actual reason. Now,
volunteer yourself as a dead parent.
A mother or parents being alive and choose to abandon or throw their child on a refuse bin, because that is what is really happening
common thing that is
in our
now.
society right now. They do it out of ignorance. It's not because
it's not ignorance.
Okay,
no,
because
it's deliberate act. It's not ignorance.
Because
they are being deliberate about it.
Yes, because if it was probably because of economical hardship, no support, Cassie walk through the road and see beggars carrying their children to beg. Why didn't those people who are living in terrible conditions, that don't even have shelter, that don't have means to eat 3 square meal, but you see them carry their baby on the street? My problem is,
why get pregnant? And
no,
hold
Cassie,
on.
Getting pregnant
why get
not,
okay? Before you get pregnant, you need to look at your financial status. You need to be sure that you're financially buoyant before you get pregnant.
Cassie,
you're pregnant. You know you don't have the money.
Cassie,
why give birth?
Cassie,
why go to you're going to the hospital, because you can't just get pregnant and then you are in the house. You go for antenatal. You register at the hospital for antenatal. You will give birth. So why go through all those processes you know that you're not buoyant enough?
But you're forgetting the fact that most pregnancy come coincidentally. Yes,
there are a lot of victims. Coincidentally.
There are a lot of
you should take it out coincidentally as well.
There are a lot of victims of probably in most cases, most especially here in Nigeria, with the rate at which girls place themselves, they need a particular thing and they are asked, okay, we need sex in return. Most of these things pregnancy comes in diverse way, in this coincidental manner. So
that's why there are things that you need to do for you not to get
people
pregnant.
Will say, okay, people will put abortion as me. I'm not a supporter of abortion.
You don't have to do all of that.
Most times,
but there are things that you need to do to ensure that you don't get pregnant. If you look at it very well, in my platform, I really talked about it. I say I'm not in support of abortion, but instead of bringing a child to the world to suffer a particular child, it's better, you understand? Yes,
better that
you do it.
But I'm not in support
rather than abandoning them. Those children are so innocent.
Now, in terms of orphanage home, orphanage home initially, just like I stated, it's meant for
children
property.
Who lost their parents.
Yes. Rather, thank you. They become government properties. And you being alive, giving your child out for orphanage, it's unfortunate, you understand? People,
even if you don't want to take them to the orphanage, you can give it to someone that you know that the person is capable.
Most ladies,
you give it to someone.
Most ladies is still bounce back to their mindsets. You understand?
Kings, no,
forgetting that.
You don't make excuses for these people.
No. I'm
exactly
driving somewhere. I've not landed, Cassie. They are not well oriented. In our society today, we are girls, ladies, most especially girls. Because I'm going to the side of men, but let me really challenge ladies, because they are most victimized in this situation, and they are most of the time carrier of these acts. You see, girls who are not knowledge, that is why it is very important as a lady, if you are privileged to have a mother who is still alive and who takes care of you, it is best you go close to your mother. But in our today's society, girls as taking themselves to the streets, merge with liabilities, girls who turn their straight to wayward and live a wayward life. That has what has really occupied our society. So when you are not when you don't when you are not in the side of your mother, and when I talk, not all mothers are also responsible. Yes, if you are privileged to have a responsible mother, it is best advised as a lady, go close to your mother, so that you have this sense of, of being able to cater for when your time comes. Because looking at your mother dimension and looking at how she, trains you as a girl, as a lady, as a young girl, you definitely build your mindset of, okay, when my time comes, I should be able. So that is one thing affecting most girls in our society. So when you are always absent from the presence of your mom, you lose that sense. And when you take yourself to the street and to the hands of people who cannot help you build your mind and train you to grow into a motherhood, then definitely you will find yourself taking
Kings,
such acts. Now, what am I? Let me land, Cassie. Let me land. What am I trying to say is that most girls who carry out this art have been brainwashed by the society they find themselves. You understand? Many of them do that art through advice. Omo, see, you don't know what country they talk. This
okay, Ojalo,
so
Ojalo,
and
let's
most times women are easily influenced by dirty advice. They can easily, you understand?
We are behind schedule. We are behind. Yes, we work with time. So let's prefer solution rather than dumping the children by the roadside, leaving them to die, leaving them to
be picked by unknown individuals.
Exactly. What is the solution?
Very simple.
Because people need solution. Let's enlighten them. Okay, rather than keeping them by the roadside, this is what you should do.
Very simple. First of all, as a young lady and as a man, before you try to have a relationship with a woman, I think the first thing is to plan yourself. Even if you don't tend to get married, but plan yourself. A lot of people are going into engagement.
It doesn't have anything to do with
marriage.
It doesn't have anything to do with the men, because with all of those stories, it shows they are being.
No, Cassie, don't say that. Cassie, do not say that. Men also contribute to that situation.
Sometimes, I'm a lady.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I get pregnant for a guy that I don't want the guy. The guy is ready to accept the responsibility, to own up to the responsibility. But for the fact that, I just wanted to have fun, and then the pregnancy came up, I know I don't want that guy, but the guy wants the child. He wants me and I don't want him. I'll give birth to the child. But I will not marry the guy. I will go ahead and do whatever I want to do. So in these cases, some of them are like that. There are ladies that they know the guy is responsible, the guy wants the child, but for the fact that the guy is not up to their standard, is not what they want, they go ahead to do whatever they want to do. So
you are absolutely
it's
correct.
Not the guys that are at fault here. A responsible guy would not want to abandon their child, and even if the guy is irresponsible and he wants to take action, it's still the ladies. They are the one that decide what they want to do.
With the guy
so it's for the ladies. They are the ones doing this, and in this scenario, I'm seeing it like these people are doing this because of it's not ignorance, it's a deliberate act. They are doing it because they don't want to go through the shame of the society. They feel societal shame and the rest.
See, Cassie, you talked about, yes, you've really portrayed something that I think our viewers really will agree to. Yes, most girls they passionately, carry out these dirty acts, probably because they don't love this guy, or their mind doesn't flow with him. But at the other way around, most men, because you have already portrayed some ugly side of women, why they usually deliberately do that. But I'm a guy too, and I will also have to, emphasize on how most men involve themselves in this act. There are cases whereby a girl will meet you, your fiancé or your maybe your girlfriend you are dating, and she tells you, I'm pregnant. I've seen a situation where most guys will talk down on this guy. Look, I am not ready to be a father. I don't know what you will do to this pregnancy.
If you're not ready to be a father, why do things are put in the family way?
That is the question you ask. That is why I said most guys are, just as you said, most guys are irresponsible, and they are the one that push this lady to do such thing. You understand? This act, when you say ladies deliberately do it, no, majority of the circumstances that affect that situation are from the men, and most reasons too. When I've seen cases where a guy impregnates a girl, when the girl tries to tell him, express herself to him that look, she's pregnant, he flees. Guys are most of the time carriers of these dirty, ugly circumstances. So now,
Ojala, what is the solution rather than dumping these babies by the roadside?
One, I think before you engage yourself in premarital affairs, sex and thereabouts, please, know the person, you are having an affair with. That is one. Because girls of these days, it's unfortunate that they've choose to allow themselves to be used by unserious fellas. Two, you know, see a child, when a child comes to you, there is no way on earth, that child, a newborn child will bring bad luck to your life.
Exactly, because children
That is
are
what people
blessing.
fail to understand. There is no way you get pregnant as a girl or as two individuals who have choose, okay, let this pregnancy be. There is no way a pregnancy will bring bad. That is what people must understand. Every child brings good, even if your life was not in a good shape. But when people should understand it. But when a child is involved, whether you are married or not, don't let pastors, try to tell you. No, because some pastors too are also the cause of it. Oh, if you are not married and you give birth, you've committed sin. Please
Ojalo, what is
be
the
mindful
solution? What should they do?
That is one of the solutions. Always have it in mind that when pregnancy comes, every other good things follows. You understand? Then thirdly, even if you are fortunate as a girl not to have this support, please never give up. There is no way you give birth to a child. There is no support will come out from nowhere, from where you don't expect.
Even if support doesn't come out, rather than dumping these babies by the roadside,
it's not possible.
Leave them in the hospital.
There must be support.
Leave them in the hospital where they will be adopted.
If you want to know what I'm saying, I can prove you. Just go to the street and see people who are carrying their child.
I think the solution here is you leave them in the hospital where they will be adopted.
And they are
take them to motherless baby homes.
And their government. I don't think that motherless baby is also as a solution, Cassie.
That's the solution. Rather than dumping, it's better.
Most
you
orphanage baby homes are not even hygiene and are not secure. I'm telling you, in this country, Nigeria. So I don't think if you are alive, that is when the girl is dead.
Leaving them by the road,
when the parents are dead, that is when a child should be taken to
wrap your baby.
But you being alive, you being alive is not advisable.
So which is preferable, that you are alive, healthy and hearty, and you wrap your baby in a wrapper and drop it by the roadside?
That is not the best option. It's not even
yes. So this option here is you take the baby to the orphanage home, you take the baby to motherless baby center, give the baby to someone that you know is capable of training the child.
That is what I expected.
Rather than dumping them by the roadside,
because they are
the hospital too is an option.
Definitely.
You can leave the hospital.
Definitely, Cassie. If your mother as a girl is not alive, I definitely know your auntie will be there.
Even if your mother, there are some family members that will not come to your aid. There are some family members
and you think
that
some
will not come to your
Nigeria
aid.
that will take care of that child properly? Let's be honest. Try and take a tour to some orphanage home.
That can take
Majority of the orphanage home are not even
people who are looking for
a child.
Will come there and adopt.
I understand what you're saying.
Family members, it's not every family member that will come to your aid. There are some family members that will tell you they did not send you anything. They're not the one that asked you to go get pregnant. So don't rely on family, because family will fail you. Rather than relying on family, give it to
satanic.
an outsider, someone you don't even know, someone that you know is in need of a child. Leave the child with the person. Take the child to the orphanage home. Take the child to somewhere safe, not the roadside.
And I know for the fact that their government initiative, calling on. There've been so many. I think women affairs associations.
There are also NGOs that are in charge of this too.
Yes, I've made some announcements. I've seen that quite a number of times, even on the internet. It's everywhere. That look, if you know you are going through terrible situation as a mother, you can't. You understand? Come to Susu. So I think girls who are facing challenges in terms of upkeep of their child should please try and make your research. You ask questions. You can go to civic centers. Ask questions on what you can. Despite we know the economic situation, but there are still government oriented platforms that you can easily get help for, rather than trying to abandon your child because you see cases of a child being dumped. It's so bad, so terrible. There was one, just the one you mentioned that happened in the Edo State. When I watched that video clip, I was pained. I was like, okay, if you see where this child was dumped, in a bush side close to the neighbors, and I was like, okay, what about if a dangerous creature now beats this child or something like that? You understand? So you can see when I said any child that comes into your life brings blessing, because if you look at it, every child, you understand, there's a grace. So even you dumping the child, it will even tell that you lose something very precious.
Exactly. And when it's time, you feel that you're buoyant.
And God made it possible for someone to relocate, so that it should tell you that, look, and no child coming into your life will bring bad luck. So girls who are having this mindset or listening to courage from your fellow shenanigans who will brainwash you, please have a rethink. There is no child that brings bad luck to an individual, because that is what most girls have been told. I'm talking about girls. And for men too, the same thing. See, if you born this pikin now, you go dry, you no go feel safe. Come on, what is your purpose of living if you are not able to take care of to have an offspring? That is one question people should ask themselves. You see someone deliberately say, I no want born, I no want. Come on, in this life, even animals give birth, and you've seen a puppy, they give birth, and in whichever means they take care of that puppy, even with the help of their owners. So what am I trying to say?
In the future, when they are ready to have those children, and children are not forthcoming, they'll tag it to witches and witchcraft. Go to so many church
now. Most pastors have seen the privilege to open church centers for, if you are looking for a child, looking for drop 10 million. Come on, what is the meaning? It's embarrassing.
Ojalo, thank you so much.
Now, so it is best advisable, please, ladies, please. Like I said, when it comes, unfortunately, when I said unfortunately, maybe it come unexpectedly. First, I don't support abortion, but if you must keep that child, please, and there are no means for you to take care of this child, search for NGOs. There are platforms, like I said, that you can reach out to. There are a lot of kind-hearted people still in this country. Yes, when they take note that, look, you have a child and there are no means for you to cater for this child, they are ready to help. I can state the facts. You understand? I was also privileged, even my own time too, when I gave birth. Help came from nowhere. People that I didn't expect. It's natural. That is the mindset people should have. It is natural. Help will come from nowhere. So don't be afraid. Even if the man responsible for the pregnancy abandoned you, my dear, don't give up. It will come naturally. This help will come. It might even come from the hospital where you gave birth to a child. Even if you give birth to the child from in your room, you will see help.
Exactly. All right.
So
Thank
there should be no panic. There should be no fear. And you having it in mind to abandon this child, it will tell on you, and the karma is so terrible that you won't be able to resist.
Thank you so much, Ojalo, and I hope you've been able to learn one or two. In case you still have pressing issues or question you want to ask, or you also want to contribute to our discussion, do well to drop it on the comment section. I am Kasitoni, and this is where I'll be drawing the curtain.